My peoples, what's going on in the world outside of the first round is the first round is special presentation. We got a special presentation tonight, man, and I'm so glad to be able to come on tonight and have some fun with some close friends, some new people that I hope to become good friends with, and we're gonna have some fun. In case you guys didn't know, this is the first round of this podcast, man. Welcome to everybody that's joining in. You guys got a third episode this week. We got two episodes that came earlier. Hope you guys was able to check out that. The creator B. Willingham, Reggie, the real Reggie, Corporal Rivers had a good little episode. Had a couple good things going down. So, but we got to bring a special episode in tonight because we're gonna have like a great weekend coming up. So, look, this episode is about the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, the the Niners of San Francisco, the gold miners of San Francisco against the Cowboys. Now I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give it a better intro. The Dallas Cowboys gonna be coming to Santa Clara this Sunday, prime time game, man. So I thought it would be awesome to have a representation. Of course, y'all know I am a Niners fan. Got to bring an old friend on, Brian Takahashi was here tonight. We here to bring it in, and then I also feel like I was gonna bring some Cowboys fans in, so we can have a good little discussion, a good conversation. So I would like you guys get some introduction going in. I'm gonna let you guys start. I'm gonna let Bam start it off, and then we can go from there. I'll let Tyrell come in too. Let's get some introduction going in first, real quick. Bam, I'll let you go ahead. Go first.
What's going on, people? I appreciate the invite, the invitation, man, to come on here with you guys. I'm honored. But I go by the name of Bam Franklin, President and CEO of the Star Gang Nation. Down here in ATL is the home base, and hey, man, I'm ready to get on here and get it going with you guys, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Let you go ahead, Tyrell.
All right, what's going on? I'm Tyrell, pretty much a lifelong Dallas Cowboy fan. Been a fan since I can remember, pretty much. Like that's the only team I grew up watching. Been a fan since, and I definitely appreciate y'all boys inviting me on.
For
Cool,
sure.
cool. And I'm Brian Takahashi, aka Takalicious, aka Little Sexy, even though I'm a big dude. Um, yeah, huge Niner fan, as you guys can tell. And yeah, out here in Atlanta, just representing, man. So just like Bam, well, Bam runs the group, but I'm VP of a 49er booster club called Niner Family, part of the Niner Empire group, overall group. President is Atia Ali out here in Atlanta. And we have viewing parties every single week at Wing Factory in Smyrna.
Yeah, that was the other component I wanted to bring into the show because we host parties for our team for the Niners to watch. Incredible parties, man. We have a big fan base, and the Dallas Cowboys has that too. So it's like it's incredible just to have a group of people that loves the same football team that you're on, you know saying, that you love, and then that to be able to gather together in one spot to do it. So that's what the Niner family does, Niner Empire does. We get together, we have some fun, and we do this every Sunday or every Thursday, whichever game comes on. Sunday, Thursday, gonna be Monday. We got a couple Thursday night games coming, right? We got some Monday night games coming up. But wherever we have the game with the Niners, we get together at the Wing Factory, and it's gonna be a special presentation Sunday because the Star Game is gonna come too. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna be able to have a collection of the Cowboys fans to come and enjoy the game with us. See, well, probably see them, get a defeat, but that's cool. But you're gonna have them, come in and enjoy the game with us, man. But all in all, what I tell Brian and all my people all the time, like I love being able to be around people that love football, people that love to just watch football and be able to just converse with each and everybody, just to be able to have some fun with it. So it's gonna be dope to have Star Gang in the building. And I wanted to kind of break it down real quick to, you know, what's again, what was the love for your team? How did it come down? Where do guys got that love from? And I'm gonna start with you, man. Um, where was your start with the Cowboys, and how did you get the start with just becoming a Cowboys fan?
Well, for me, it was a generational thing. I would say my grandfather kind of passed it down. My grandmother would tell me stories about him. When he would watch the Cowboy games. It's always a it's a funny story that she would always tell me because she would let me know, like, your grandfather had a heart attack one time watching the Cowboys play when they lost the game. So like that's how serious it was
Yeah.
in our family. And he passed it down to my dad, and my dad passed it down to me. When I was like 3 or 4 years old, my dad, the first thing I remember him buying me was a Cowboys helmet. And once I got it, man, I'm like I fell in love with it. So ever since then, I was just in love with the star, and it just stayed with me ever since. So again, I've been a Cowboy fan since I was a youngling, 3 or 4 years old. So yeah, that's how long it's been for me.
For sure, man. What about you, Tyrell?
So mine is complete opposite. Like everybody in my family hate the Cowboys. Like I'm the only person in my family that's, and basically like I'm a Cowboy fan. Just it started off by default because I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So the Falcons, I live in Savannah. Like I grew up in Savannah, Georgia. So the Falcons back then were terrible. So every week it was a blackout.
You said back then. No, they still are.
Right. But like I grew up every Sunday is all I saw was the Cowboys because they like that's when they started the dynasty with the triplets and all. So like every Sunday Cowboys, that's all I saw on TV. So it at first it was just like so repetitive. It's like, okay, this is the only team I see. Like, and I'm like 6, 7 years old, like just getting into football. So it's like, okay, this what I see every week. So it naturally is just like gravitation. And then like growing up, it's like, all right, I'm old enough to know like I'm not about to hop from team to team, and I like that's the team I was going with back then, so I'm gonna stick with them. I'm talking about I wrote it out when Quincy Carter was the quarterback.
Right. Yeah, those were the rough years. So yeah.
What's it? You had Antonio Bryant back then too, right? I think back then.
Those terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we try to forget about those years, man, but it's a new time coming. So we gonna stay positive.
Look, we had those years too, bro. We had those years as well. We, after those famed 80s, 90s run that we had, what I'm saying, we had to get a little bit of the dark ages too, right? So,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
else that shine.
The Garcia years, correct?
Say what?
The Garcia years, right?
Carter, Druckenmiller, Tim Rattay.
Yeah.
Had we had a long time. It was
I got
it was a couple times where I was like, you know what? There's probably some other things besides football I can enjoy. I
And
can
Tim
art.
pretty good for y'all, man.
Say what?
I
Tim Rattay, man. That man.
Yeah, but we have a bar. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a bar too, right? We have a bar that we set. You know what I'm saying? And hey, look, I was a fan of Jeff Garcia, no lie. So it was like, all right, cool. We might have something, but then when one thing was starting to work, something didn't. You know what I'm saying? Something else was just going to cause us not to be able to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I was like you, Tyrell. Like I'm born and raised in Georgia. For whatever reason, the Atlanta Falcons was in the NFC West. So when what I'm saying, when they played Falcons, when the 49ers played Falcons, they always whoop their ass. And I could see it on TV. And what I'm saying, I was 10. It was 94 when I started watching and like really comprehending football, right? It was like, okay, I like the sport, what is going on. 94 was that year, right? 94 was our year that you know what I'm saying, that made it happen. And so I started watching them on the year, that Steve Young, who was my favorite quarterback of all time, prime time, love Atlanta. Say I'm done with Atlanta. You did so much I did so much for y'all. I can't get nothing out. So I'm going to, I'm going to take my talents elsewhere. He came to the Niners and he just was on a roll that year. So I'm like, man.
Yeah, he went to a contender, Yeah, he sure did.
I would say he did the same thing the next year though.
Yeah,
He
of
sure
course.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
He was an ultimate contender the year after that.
it was right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the story that it went down to. But yeah, it was that year of I like, man, this is a squad. Like in my head, in my comprehension, like the comprehension here, like I didn't necessarily have like, okay, since you're in Georgia, you must follow Atlanta Falcons. I was following the team that I loved, that was just putting up points. You know what I'm saying? I was enjoying myself. So like, it was the Niners. They went all the way through, and they won. You know what I'm saying? They won the Super Bowl. I like what? And then going backwards, I'm like, oh snap! Y'all have four more. Okay, let me see what's going on with this story. And of course, following the years, going deeper into what was the Niner culture. You know what I'm saying? Seeing how the Niners kind of been watching that system, kind of kind of spearheaded that West Coast offense, changed the game, like just became something crazy. So it was like, all right, this is gonna be my squad, and and I guess you guys seeing us on that's listening to us right now. We kind of giving y'all some hate for the Falcons, but I got some respect for the Falcons to a point. I don't I don't want to give too much of a poo poo to the Falcons, but I kind of will. But it was.
I was a Michael Vick fan. I'll just say that.
Yeah. There are certain players for sure.
Yeah,
right.
That's me. Like I like certain players, but I mean, poo is.
I mean, we were just talking about Koo, right? We were just talking about Koo right before we kicked off. So,
but yeah, it's like that was that squad, man. So I'm like, you know what, this is where I'm at. I'm happy when I do watch these boys play, and that's how it became the big deal for me. You know what I'm saying? So that was my story of the Niners, and I stuck with them ever since.
cool. Yeah, well, I guess I'll hop in real quick. Yeah, and real quick though, Brandon, I do remember Dion going to the Ravens. I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. But no, yeah. So for me, I'm from the Bay Area, so grew up. The Raiders were in LA at the time, so there was really only one team in that area. So got into football late '80s. Niners were killing it, and so it was easy to start supporting them. Moved out here sometime in the early '90s, and just kept following them. It was a pain in the butt to watch games, though. I'll tell you that. Like Tyrell, you said, Cowboys games were always on TV out here. Well, because y'all were always on TV, the Niners games were never on TV. So, you end up having to try to see if you can get your hands on a newspaper or something just so you can, keep up with the team. So, it's pre-internet days. So, got into, got into being a Niner fan back in the 80s when I lived out in the Bay, moved out here, kept it going. And yeah, just haven't stopped rooting for the squad since. I mean, my wife tells me I need to stop buying all this red stuff. That's like all I wear. It's like, you can't help it, I mean, it's just, it's a part of your life.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've been a fan now. So I'm 42. So 35 years or so. I've been a fan for about 35 years. So yeah, I like to consider myself a diehard.
For sure. And
what's up?
that's like the cool thing about football in itself, right? It's just like you have a squad that you can root for. You have a squad. I felt like we're fortunate enough to pick the good squads. You know what I'm saying? Like us, both of us, like, all right, look, let's quit the bullshit and go with the squad that is elite, that has that bar of wanting to play good football. Given that we haven't reached the promised land in a good minute, that was going towards, for a good minute, it was the Patriots for damn near 20 years, but it was like we were still being competitive. We were still a bar that was like, when we watch football pundits talk, what I'm saying, they're going to mention the Cowboys, they're going to mention the Niners, what I'm saying, like that's just what it is. So that's just cool to have that fact, just to be behind like a good group of, it's a good football team, man. And at this moment, both our teams going through them dark years are back in promise now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're really looking good right now. Like this is like the good pinnacle point for us to have like a good conversation, because coming up this Sunday, you know what I'm saying, the rivalry, like, well, I could go back, like we had a rivalry right back in the day, right? Like it was Niners and in the 90s, it was Niners and Cowboys all the time, going back and forth with each other, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so like it wasn't until up until recently that rival just kind of broke back up, like kind of became a big thing, and like we had that one game 4 years ago that was like during the season, like, all right, we had the Cowboys, and that kind of came and went because y'all kind of whooped our ass. But You know what I'm saying? That was that.
We don't. We don't talk about that. We don't have to talk about that. We're good. We're good.
Zeke Elliott was looking like damn, damn near the running back of the century, right? He ain't catching the ball, so like it was a big deal. So, but then again, we didn't see each other again into the playoffs, right? And then that's when everybody was elite and going back and forth with each other. So now we're back in it. We're back in it for the season, and we're playing in prime time Sunday night, national stage. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a good game. Like our records are showing where we at. You know what I'm saying? We're at the top of our level. Folks are talking about us. I'm pretty sure you guys got some points y'all want to talk about with the Cowboys. We're going to talk about some points with the Niners. But since you guys are guests on the show, I'm gonna start with you, man. I want to let you know. We're gonna go over some points. Sunday night, 8:00. It's gonna be the start time. You're gonna be in the building with us. You're gonna have some fun with us. You're gonna probably get some shots with us. And that game's gonna come on. That kickoff's gonna go off. You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna be looking at y'all like, hey, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, where we at? What's going on? But I want to ask you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask Tyrell next. Like, I'm gonna bring up some points. What you guys? You can kind of give an introduction of what the Cowboys are looking like this season. How you liking them right now? But what do y'all feel like is gonna be your reason of why the Cowboys are going to beat the 49ers at Santa Clara Levi Stadium Sunday night?
Well, I think, well, first and foremost, we know it's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be a heavyweight slugfest come Sunday night. We got two teams that's, pretty much the top tier, in the NFL right now as far as the NFC goes. I think it's how it goes. We talking about is the Eagles, Cowboys, 49ers, and everybody else, in my eyes, how I look at it. So, this is going to be a big matchup for both teams. And, I think this matchup is going to solidify who's probably the better team right now. It could be different by the time playoff times come, around November or December. We get towards the end of the season. But right now, I'm saying this is going to be it's going to be a big game for both teams, man, because I know for us, we're looking for revenge for the last couple of, years when we played you guys and, you put us out the playoffs. So it's kind of personal for us right now, man. So right now, I'm looking for my team to come there, the Levi Stadium and punch you guys in the mouth and let you guys know, like, hey, third time is about to be a charm. We about to come. We're not scared of y'all. We about to come here and handle business. We about to put that pressure on your boy, Purdy, and let you guys know, man. Look, this is a different team. I feel like we're a team of destiny, and it's unfortunate we took a loss, a couple of weeks ago against the Cardinals, but I'm glad it happened early because I feel like maybe we needed that to have a wake up call because right now I think it's time for us to go to war early in the season, and what better way to do it than against the 49ers, man? So I'm really looking forward to the game. I think we're going to come in with high energy. I think the defense is going to be on point. The only thing that concerns me right now is our offense. And with Dak and everything he's doing, even though he hasn't turned the ball over that much, but he hasn't really put up the points in the red zone that I've been expecting him to, and with the play calling being kind of questionable. But other than that, I think we're ready for this game, man. I think we're primed to go in there and turn some heads on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that, man. Like we did give y'all them 2 L's in the playoffs when it mattered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
It was a big deal, Holyfield, and we needed that. You know what I'm saying? So it was. I like those. I like the points that you made with that one. What about you, Tyrell?
So for me, like up until last Sunday, I felt exactly the same that Bam felt. I was like, okay, it's gonna be a defensive matchup. Defense gonna determine who win the game. It's gonna be a low scoring game, and whoever got the ball in the last possession, that's probably who won't win the game. I felt like that up until Sunday, but then at that press conference when somebody in the media asked Dak something about the game in the playoffs against the 49ers. And something happened that I never saw from Dak Prescott. Like, he got mad. Like, okay, like, why we talking about that? So when he said that, it's like, all right, this man ought to prove something. And Sunday, I was like, all right, it might not be a defensive matchup. I feel like Dak made up his mind when that reporter asked him that question Sunday after that matchup Sunday. He was like, all right, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be surgical. I'm gonna pick them apart. And it's games where Dak can be like, all right, I'm gonna be a manager. I'm gonna make sure if the defense doing what they need to do, I'm just gonna manage the game, hand off, throw when I need to throw. But then it's also games when Dak can just say, all right, I'm gonna put the team on my back and I'm gonna pick this team apart. I'm gonna pick this defense apart. And I feel like going into Sunday, he gonna like that's his mindset. Like I'm coming out to be the man. Like I'm not handing the ball off every down. I'm coming out. I'm trying to throw. I'm trying to pick this defense apart. I feel like when that reporter asked him that question Sunday, it was that changed the whole tempo of the game and Dak mind and his mindset. Like I'm going out here and I'm about to show y'all what was supposed to happen in that playoff game last year.
I can see that. It's interesting that both of y'all didn't really point out y'all bread and butter right now, which is y'all defense. You know what I'm saying? Your defense is playing really good at that moment right now. Like y'all kind of being on some buzzsaw type of deal. Y'all got that one person out there that number 11, right? What's his name?
Yeah, you know the name. Trust me, you're gonna be saying it a lot on Sunday.
Ain't gonna be all over the place Sunday.
Yeah. Trust me, he gave Purdy a lot of trouble in that game last year. So
he did.
Yeah.
But all that to say, like, y'all got a defense, man. Respect is due. Respect is due. Y'all got that defense. That defense always been humming from the past years that y'all had Dan Quinn, pretty much. Like defense has been humming. It's been going off the chain. You know, it's like the cornerbacks has been going off. Your front line's been going off, but mainly because of Parsons. I'm interested in seeing what they're going to use him as this time because I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all got Parsons being different from what he was doing last season, right? And the season before, y'all kind of moving him around a little bit more. He's not set at the edge no more, right? He's kind of moving. Well, he's not set at like the linebacker position. He's more so edge rusher, right? Or
Yeah, pretty much. I think they got him moving around more on the defensive line to put more pressure on the quarterback. Especially now with him, coming into his contract. Yeah, I think he wants to, be geared more towards being a defensive end and rushing the quarterback. So I believe that's the reason why Dan Quinn has him, rushing more rather than playing the linebacker position.
yeah, that would be my main like concern. You know what I'm saying? Is Parsons going to eat? Because if Parsons eat, you know what I'm saying, he gets Brock Purdy moving around, jittery and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying it could become a big deal, right? So it's like
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be fried, you know what I'm saying, get jilted and then start throwing into y'all cornerbacks that looks like they've been eating this season too. Y'all been getting all these pick sixes and stuff, Like I'm giving respect to where it is, you know what I'm saying, the offense. I mean the defense, but I don't see anything
But that's a testament to the front seven too. I mean, if you're getting pressure, the court that ball's gonna come out quick, and if you're sitting back, and also with you guys with your defense and how y'all roll, man, I think that's one of the things that y'all do well too. What I'm saying, with getting turnovers, y'all defense, has been stout for the last couple of years, bro. So, what I'm saying, I salute y'all and tip my hat to y'all defense too. But I think the one thing that's gonna pay a difference this year, I think y'all gonna miss D'Amico Ryan as y'all defensive coordinator this year because your offense is carrying y'all team this year, not the defense. That's one thing that I've noticed so far. And I think that's what's gonna play the difference. That's gonna be the difference on Sunday night.
I would say the offense and defense. The offense is just matching the defense. Now I don't know that the defense is playing any worse. Now we're not getting to the quarterback as frequently, right? That's clear as day. What is it? The Seahawks just had 10 sacks against the Giants. We had like one, right? So that just goes through. But I mean, in terms of pressures, everybody says just who cares about pressures, but at the end of the day, pressures on a young quarterback is going to impact them, right? Yeah, I think Ronaldo, you talked about Micah just now, or the man who will be unnamed from your perspective, right? For me, he's gonna get his, right? So DeMarcus Lawrence, whichever side he's playing, whether it's the Cowboys left side or the Cowboys right side, I'm a little less worried on the right side because he'll be going up against Trent Williams, but that our offensive line, right guard, right tackle, is not good. Right, it's a mess. So again, I think Micah's going to get his regardless of where he's moved around on that line. So whomever's going to be rushing, or the on the Cowboys left side is probably going to have an opportunity to make some plays. The only good thing is Brock does scramble left fairly well, but again, if they're rushing off that side, then that means Micah's on the other. Right, so it's like I'm curious to see how our offense plays against your defense. The last 2 years have not been high scoring games.
No.
Right. If you think about the Niners offense and how they performed against y'all's defense last year, didn't perform super well. To be honest, last year we probably won that playoff game because of the 2 turnovers, by Dak. Right. Take those turnovers away, it's anybody's game.
It's a different game. It's a different game with that. And then also, I think when Pollard got hurt, because I think we finally started getting the running game going. Once he got hurt, man, that kind of deflated us and took the air out of the team. Mm-hmm. So, it was a different ball game once he had went down.
Yeah. And Bam, I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the thoughts that I had, in thinking of keys to success for the Cowboys is establishing that run game. So the Niners defense hasn't allowed a ton of yards rushing, but the Niners defense has been playing ahead so much this year. Right. They haven't been rushed against very much, but we're giving up like 4.5 yards a carry. So let's assume you can hit that average, but for 40 rushes in a game, you're completely done, right? You're getting smoked. So, so I mean, I think, again, keys to success for me, at least from a Cowboys defensive perspective. Again, if it's DeMarcus Lawrence or whomever it is that's playing opposite Micah Parsons, got to get the pressure. And then offensively, obviously Dak's playing clean football right now. So keep playing clean football. But get Tony Pollard going. Because if you can get Tony Pollard going, if you can get to 20 carries, I don't feel good about our chances of winning the game, to be honest. Because that means you guys are running well,
If that's happening, that means both Greenlaw and Fred Warner are out. They just fell flat on the floor. I can't see that. I can't see that happening, to be honest with you, because the boys are they're so dart. They're darts, man. They're missiles. You know what I'm saying? And also, Kinlaw, we got Armstead. We got this front line that's probably laying down too. So I definitely understand your point, Brian, with that, but I don't see that happening at all because they're not going to allow that. That's
one thing I will say, though. I will say this: for the first time since 2021, the Cowboys will have their starting 5 offensive linemen playing in this game, pending any injuries going into Sunday night. So we will finally have all 5 of our starting offensive linemen playing in this game.
I was wondering if Tyrod Smith was going to play. I guess I know he's missed the last couple of games.
That's a good strength right there. Like, the offensive line is one of the best in the league, and we're still trying to kind of get our feet under us to kind of get some sacks going, right? But I feel like Bosa's going to get it though. I feel like Nicholas Bosa is going to get some sacks Sunday.
He's a
Nicholas John Bosa.
He's a beast.
Nicholas John Bosa.
This is his coming out game because he hasn't been really doing. He's been getting pressures. He's been acting up, but he hasn't been getting them sacks yet. But I feel like he's sacked this Sunday though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we all know the Cowboys are going to motivate him for Sunday night, so I expect to see a lot of flashes from him on Sunday night.
Yeah. So Bam and Tyrell, just a quick question. Sorry to cut you off. Just a real quick question. I don't really know much about the Cowboys linebackers. So you hear about obviously Micah and the defensive line. You hear about the secondary. Well, obviously with Diggs out, maybe less about him now. But I don't know much about your linebackers. Are they solid? I mean, how do they? Are they because obviously you hear Fred Warner. Like everybody talks about Fred Warner now. So and Dre Greenlaw is starting to move up that list in terms of conversation. So yeah, can you tell me a little bit about the Cowboys linebackers in general?
So I mean, Van Der Esch is definitely underrated. Mm-hmm. I feel like because he's injured a lot, like he to me, he kind of reminds me of the dude from Carolina. I can't think of his name right now.
Talking about Luke Kuechly back in the days.
Yeah, Van Der Esch kind of reminds me of him. Like he's
Mhm.
all over the place. Like he can back off in coverage. He can rush. He can cover sideline to sideline. I feel like because he's so injured all the time, like
Yeah.
he's underrated. But as far as like a front seven, I don't think there's a front seven out there that can compete with Dallas front seven. Especially
Come on, man.
listen.
Come on, man.
Okay, so listen. I feel like the Trayvon Diggs ACL tear. I feel like that was a blessing in disguise. Because now the front seven, they're like, okay, we got to get after it
Mm.
because we missing something in the back end. So to make up for that, the front seven, if you notice that even again the Arizona game, like I feel like that was the first game Trayvon was out. So it's like, okay, this defensive game plan, we playing like we was playing with Trayvon. But if you notice the game Sunday, that defense was all over the place. Like, and you had
Right.
Mac Jones throwing picks. Like you're throwing picks because there's so many people in your face. Like you
Mhm.
see all those white jerseys around your receiver, but you like, all right, I got to get rid of the ball either way. And instead of throwing it out of bounds, you're so flustered that you throwing it straight to three jerseys. Like that front seven, like I feel like Trayvon Diggs, yeah, we would have been better with him, but now that he's out the front seven, it's like, all right, we're gonna cover for the back end because we don't want no over the top plays. We're gonna make sure we in the quarterback face every play, and it's gonna be none of those over the top plays.
Yeah.
I can see
I,
that.
I agree with you, Tyrell, on that one. I agree. I will say this though. The last game out, the game against Arizona, I was kind of worried with Van Der Esch because a lot of those plays that we were getting gashed, he was the reason why that was happening.
Mm.
So if you were paying attention to his play, you can tell like he was just pretty much just trying to figure out where the hell he was going every play. He didn't know who he was about to tackle. He didn't know who he was guarding. I didn't know what the hell happened. And for us to get gashed, and that's one of the things that I'm worried about coming into this game with McCaffrey. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to try to run the ball down our throats. Seeing what happened with Arizona, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to try that again. With us because I know the last couple of times you guys have played us, there has been, one of the things you guys have been able to do is run the ball well against our defense. So if that happens again, like it's going to be a long night for us, man. Because with our linebacker play, I mean, with Clark being in there. And the backups. If Van Der Esch isn't on his game, then it's definitely going to be a long night because one thing I know that the 49ers, they're going to try to run the ball down our throats.
Yeah.
I do know that.
The one I agree with that. Obviously, we're a run first team. That's I think it's starting to shift into more of a play action pass team. But
Mm.
the only difference I would say with the Cardinals game is you also had a 240-pound running back in James Conner, right? That was running
Hmm.
running just straight down. CMC's not a little guy. What he's like 220, 6'1", 220, something like that. But
Right.
you do have a size difference there. And so we'll see how it goes. But I mean, I'm not saying these things to say I think the Cowboys or the Niners are going to win. I'm just being real, right? At the end of the day, there are risks for both teams,
Yeah.
right? And there's also
Agreed.
risks in comparing how the Cowboys performed against the Cardinals and expecting the same. Not necessarily expecting it, but thinking that the same type of thing could happen against the Niners because we are a run first team. But again, I think the running backs are a little bit different, right? CMC's a more complete back, versus James Conner being, I'm gonna run it down your throat type. He's a Derrick
Right.
Henry back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonus.
I expect a heavy dose of him and Debo. So
Yeah.
I mean that's what I'm expecting out there, and I'm pretty sure that they're expecting it too.
Hmm.
That's really that's the main that's one of the key points. Like, look, there's this other guy on the San Francisco 49ers. His name is Brandon Ayuk. And he is having a year.
Yeah.
He is balling out. This man is showing out. He's been doing it for a while, but I guess we was able to try to figure out what plays we want to do. Like the way with the way Shanahan has his players is all interchangeable and breaking out. It's whatever's the best at that moment, right? But like one thing I've been noticing with the Cowboy games, I've been looking at film. I've been loving it. When you see Brandon Ayuk, he's getting open.
Yeah.
He's hurting. He's hurting cornerbacks. I get it. He's in his own schemes. This, that, and the third. But when you see that man open, you see that man out of the field, he's open. He's like looking around like, hey, I'm open. He's been doing that. He's been doing that these games too. Like these 4 games that came up to it. Like he's been showing out in the field, and I feel like he's gonna be a prominent point in this game this Sunday. Like we got the run game, but I feel like you were saying, with more of the pass action, the run play action, like it's gonna be Brandon Ayuk's game. And then you also have again the complete back with Christian McCaffrey, who can change into a wide receiver, and then vice versa. You have Debo, who I'm hoping is good. I'm hoping is good injury wise. That can also do that same thing, interchange out. He is that he's been that threat to y'all for the last 2 games too. But he also can be that running / pat, receiver play. So it's gonna be pretty much how you guys look on your defense is how we looking on offense. It's just everybody just changing out and switching up, motioning out. You don't know who you're going to try to guard because everybody can just go off at one moment. And we got too many weapons to be like, if one player is not doing it, all right, we're just going to go to the next person. If that person ain't doing it, all right, we're just going to go to the next person because we also have George Kittle.
Well, I was going to say, if you think about it, obviously, Ronaldo, we've watched all the games, right? But that's one person we really haven't used in our offense. If you need a 3rd and short or 4th and short, if you're going for the 4th, you better double Kittle because 99% chance Brock Purdy's going there. 99% chance he's going there. So, I and just want to go back to Ayuk real quick. You talk about him just getting open, but he's making plays when he's covered too. You look and part of it's on Brock, right? So you look at the last game in the 4th quarter, that back on the left sideline, I should say, the back shoulder pass.
Yes.
Yeah, he was tight coverage. He was the only guy that could get the ball. Week 1, I know it's the Steelers, but week 1 against Patrick Peterson, that touchdown to Brandon Ayuk on the right sideline.
When Patrick Peterson was calling him out too, by the way.
Yeah. It was sick. It was sick. So I mean, I feel like, so Bam, you mentioned offense is carrying. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I think our offense is not overperforming, but they're definitely maybe outperforming the maybe they are outperforming the defense a bit right now. Maybe they are.
Yeah, performing better than usual. Yeah. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I attest that to my other point, which is Brock Purdy, bro. 13 is playing. Brock Purdy, yo. Who would have thought, right? Oh, you don't think so?
I mean, what defense have y'all played? The offense is flourishing because what defense have you?
Steelers, Rams. Steelers, obviously, the Giants are whack, and then Arizona.
Or what's their record on?
What's that?
What's the Steelers' record?
Steelers, they got 1 win, or like 1-3, something like
okay.
2-2. 2-2. Are they 2-2? No, they're 2-2.
And the Giants that put 12 points.
Come on, you guys played the Giants too.
Okay, so
we can't use that defense as a.
But the 4 teams that the 49ers have played, like none of them are worth anything. So this is what gets lost. This is what gets lost in the sauce. Game 2 against the Jets, Dak Prescott threw 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and almost 300 yards. The week before that, Josh Allen, the second, third best quarterback in the league, threw 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, 1 touchdown?
You talking about that messed up week 1 where even the Patriots, the Chiefs lost?
Okay, they said the Jets defense. They said the Jets defense was just a great defense. Like they were the number 1 ranked defense last year. Week 2, that comes out. There was no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, almost 300 yards. They said, well, it's the Jets defense. Then fast forward to Sunday, the Jets get 3 picks from. It should have been 4. Should have been 4 picks from Mahomes because one got dropped. Well, really 5. One got dropped. That holding penalty wasn't a holding penalty, so it should have been 5. They said, "Oh, the Jets defense is great." So how was it that in week 1 the Jets defense was so great because Josh Allen threw 3 picks, and then week 4 Mahomes throws 3 picks. Dak throws no picks, 2 touchdowns, almost 300 yards, and it's okay that they're a great defense. But because these 2 great quote unquote quarterbacks played them, it's like okay. So if you're measuring opponents, if you look at what the Jets did to Mahomes and Allen, and what they didn't do to Dak, I mean it's clear our quarterback play. Yeah, Brock, he got more yards, he's got 1 more touchdown, but as far as like the defenses that he played the Rams, the Steelers, the Giants, and the Cardinals.
Which you guys lost to one of them.
Just true enough. True enough.
So that's why I say let's not compare games because you can't expect that to really mean anything.
I said all that to say this: quarterback play. If I had to choose one quarterback, out of Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott, it's Dak Prescott. And it's not even like I don't even have to think about it. Y'all 49er fans, and if somebody said, hey, would you take Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy? Y'all would take Dak Prescott. Why? Because he's clearly been there's only one quarterback since 2016 that's been better than Dak Prescott, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
My only argument there is that's earlier in his career. He didn't necessarily do super great last year. Right. So, but at the same time, though, just real quick, going to that Jets game, your defense smoked them so bad that they were out of the game early. So it didn't even make a difference, at the end. And circling back, another thing, you said Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy. Who would you rather have? In terms of resume and physical talent, I'd absolutely rather have Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's been playing what 5th or 6th year now, something like he's played well. Is it longer than that now?
It's actually year number 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it really that long? Man, time flies.
Yeah.
That's right, because it was after Romo, right? It went Romo to Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just real in terms of resume, you can't argue with it. Dak Prescott has a better resume than Brock Purdy does, but Brock Purdy's only started 9 regular season games. Right. So, and he's undefeated in those 9 games. So I think his resume is going to look better pretty soon. He's got more playoff wins than Dak Prescott has already. So now, granted, defense, right? Defense has a part to do with it. CMC has something to do with it, all those different things. Right. But again, physical talent, absolutely. Dak Prescott has better arm talent than Brock Purdy does. But if you could put Brock Purdy's mind and how he processes in Dak's body, that would be ideal because Dak's got he's got him beat in the physical talent realm, if you will, right? So I don't know. Again, I'm biased. I see 9-0 in the regular season. I'm going to go towards 9-0.
I feel like it's a system thing too, right? Because it's what our head coach is wanting from a quarterback. And the thing what I like about this is crazy because first seeing Brock coming through coming to position to play when he had to come in from the Miami game, it was because the quarterback before him was Jimmy Garoppolo. And everybody that listens to the podcast and to the first rounders know I have this special relationship with Jimmy Garoppolo. This man is a toxic relationship. Up and down, just point blank, period, man. He is a roller coaster of a quarterback. He played good for us, right? He won games for us, this, that, and third. But he also causes anxieties and heart attacks.
Yeah, he has that Tony Romo effect.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told people that. He was Tony Romo. He was Tony Romo, absolutely.
Yeah,
I know what we're talking about because it got to the point to where it was like, all right, he's going to throw an interception. Let's hope let's throw this interception in the first quarter, get it out of the way. Like it got to the point where we expected him to throw an interception.
Mhm.
More times than not, he throws it at the wrong time, or he doesn't.
Most inopportune. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or he overthrows, or he underthrows, or he just doesn't throw it all. He'll just run and look stupid. And he'll also throw it into a linebacker because that's his favorite thing to do. But all that just to say, like, when Brock got into the game, I didn't see any of that. I didn't see, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see uh the craziness, the jitteriness that Jimmy G have. And he's operating in Shanahan's offense. And if y'all remember when Matt Ryan started operating in Shanahan's offense that year they went to the Super Bowl, they was firing on all cylinders. They were looking like they was gangbusters out there. And the deal was that you needed some time to understand what the system is. Listen to Kyle. It's a paint by numbers type of deal, but you also got to make some decisions because you're gonna be having live fire coming at you. You're gonna be having these rushes coming at you. You're gonna be coming out of the pocket. You're gonna be flustered out. Make the right decision on what you got to do if you can't get it off. And Brock Purdy's been doing that. Brock Purdy's just been like, look, all right, cool, I got this. All right, boom. My read's not open. Let me try to see what I can do to make it happen. Let me get out of the pocket. If I can't get out of the pocket, let me throw it away. Main thing, let me throw the ball away. I haven't seen Jimmy be doing that at all. You know, so it's all that just to say, like, I would choose Brock Purdy out for these 9 games opposed to the 8+ years with Dak, because Dak does have some time tendencies that, like, all right, if it comes into the motions, I'm gonna just throw it. I'm gonna see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Let me get crazy, and then pick city happen. So it's like
that's not nah.
I mean,
I get why you feel that way though. I get why you feel that way because I remember in 2016, okay, you saying Brock was 9-0 and blah blah blah. He did this and that. I remember in 2016 there was some guy that started the season 12-0 and had the Cowboys 12-0 and who was that again? Like Brock he nice for the first 9 games, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's somebody
Agreed.
16 quarterback wise, I'm not taking nothing away from Brock Purdy, but
for sure.
Everybody knows that in a Kyle Shanahan offense, you just need to be a game manager. You don't need to be a quarterback. You just need to throw when you need to throw. And one thing we know about Kyle Shanahan, like at some point he like whether it's the Falcons, whether it's the 49ers in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, at some point he's gonna say, I'm gonna stop running the ball and I'm gonna put the ball in my quarterback hands, and then that's when we see what the quarterback really is. Like Jimmy G,
Right.
like took y'all to the Super Bowl
Yep.
against, had a lead against them, and Kyle Shanahan did the same thing he did with the Falcons. He said, "Hey, we're up. Let's abandon the run game and let's just put the game in the hands of the quarterback and see what he can do." Then you get Pick City from Matt Ryan. You get 28-3. Then you get Jimmy G. He's up what was it, like 13-6 against the Chiefs? Why y'all not running the ball? Like, even coaching wise, like I feel like Dallas had the upper hand. Coaching wise, if Dallas gets the lead, there's no way that you can like my life savings that if Dallas had even a 3-point lead in the fourth quarter, Dallas will only throw the ball if it's if it's 3rd and like 12 and they have to throw the ball. Kyle Shanahan, it can be 3rd and 1. It's 1 minute left on the clock, 3rd and 1. Dallas got 1 timeout. He's gonna throw the ball. Like we know his resume.
He's
Like
gonna take his chances. Yep,
Kyle
he
Shanahan,
sure is.
the reason he want and to me, I feel like it's because he gets the mindset like, oh, they think I can't coach. So it's like, okay, let me call these plays and try to win the game, and it's unnecessary. Like you up 28-3 in one Super Bowl as offensive coordinator, and then a year later you get a head coaching job, and you say I'm up 13-6 against this high-powered chief offense, and let me turn this game manager quarterback into Brett Favre or Tom Brady or whoever. Like that, you knew that wasn't him when you came he got you to the Super Bowl the way he got you to the Super Bowl. And instead of you saying let's just stick to what we stick to, let me just fuck it up. Basically,
Abandon all logic. Yeah.
is like he's a consistent fuck up. If it don't matter where it's at, he can be 16, 17 and 0 in the regular season. Win 2 playoff games, get to the Super Bowl. He is going to fuck it up. Some way, somehow, Kyle Shanahan is going to fuck it up. It might come down to that Sunday. It really might come down to coaching Sunday. We're saying it may come defense, offense. It might simply come down to coaching. And Kyle Shanahan.
Point to bring up. Great point to bring up. And I ask you this, man. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to coaching, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like Mike McCarthy is up to the snuff to you know what I'm saying, do what he needs to do? Because case in point, that one game, that playoff game 2 years ago, I don't even know what that play was that y'all wanted, you know what I'm saying, to call the run to get into.
That was a Kellen Moore play.
But Mike McCarthy had some over there.
Kellen Moore out of there.
Kellen Moore play. So Kellen Moore isn't there anymore.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave that at that one.
Okay.
When it comes to McCarthy, when it comes to my confidence level, it's not very high. Especially what we've seen over the last couple of years with his clock management and some of the decisions that he's made, man. It makes you scratch your head and kind of, throw something at the TV. It's just like, dude, what are you thinking? But, again, one thing we know about McCarthy, he has the experience, and we know he has more experience than Kyle Shanahan. And, we know that he'll take more of the conservative approach rather than go for the gusto, a la Kellen Moore was doing, for the last, 5-6 years, he's been offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. So I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is the play calling when it comes to the red zone, because that is not the time to get conservative. And I think that's probably been kind of hindering us for the first 4 weeks that we have been playing, because I think that has been our one weakness that we've had so far this season is our red zone play. The defense, we're getting the ball up and down the damn field, but when we get into the red zone, it's just like, okay, what do we do now? And like, you have the players, you have the personnel where you can get more creative. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like, hey man, it took you 3 weeks to figure out you got a fullback that can run the ball into the end zone. Now that we're missing Zeke, like, it took y'all that long to figure that shit out. Like, you finally gave him the ball, to get into the end zone. And, it's just a head scratcher sometimes. But I will say this. I have more confidence going into this game in McCarthy than I do in Kyle Shanahan. Because one thing we know about Shanahan, he'll get cocky at times, like Tyrell was saying, especially if he feels like, he's, doing whatever he's doing to command the game, and you guys are on a high horse or whatever, you playing well. He's going to do something to mess it up for you guys. I'm just waiting for that moment if it comes. But picture this scenario though, right? How crazy would it be? And God forbid that it may happen, if Dak Prescott gets hurt and Lance has to come in the game and beats the 49ers.
Ooh.
Wow. So wouldn't that be crazy?
Is Lance jumping over, who do y'all got? Is it
Cooper Rush? We have Cooper Rush.
So Lance is jumping over Cooper Rush?
No, but it could be a certain play. It could be a certain play, right? Oh. They may put him in for a trick play or something like that, just because it's the 49ers. Imagine that.
Look, I've had I had previous episodes. I had my soliloquy about the situation that happened. That was the Trey Lance era. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out to be what it was. That became a big cluster. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was something crazy. I questioned it. I'm trying to figure what it was, but fortunately, like a move like that would have probably got some heads fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, folks could have got fired over that. But guess what happened though? We got an extension. we extended, and so that's cool. It is what it is, because we also still had a good winning season, and we went to the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Well, I can guarantee you this: if you guys were sitting at 1-3 right now, things would be a little bit different.
I can understand that, but we was also 1-5 that one time too, and we, you know, what I'm saying, we pulled it off. You know, what I'm
To
saying.
make a move like that, and then your quarterback doesn't come out and play as well as Brock Purdy has been playing. And I give him credit; he has been playing well. You know what I'm saying, so far this season. But this Sunday night, he's going to be coming up against a real top defense for the first time this season. So we'll see how well he plays then.
I understand that, and I can see how that works too. But let me also, well, let me do two things. First, I'm gonna welcome everybody that's been watching the live broadcast on YouTube, Facebook. We appreciate y'all always. This is the First Rounds podcast. We got special guests in the building. There's some Cowboy fans. We having a good conversation about the Cowboy games coming up Sunday, 8 o'clock. And, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody that's been coming in and having a good conversation, getting some comments in. So definitely shout out. Continue listening to us. You can follow us on and all the podcasts network. You got Spotify, we got Apple Music, we got all the good stuff. We don't do Pandora though, so that's just not what it is. We don't go to Pandora. Pandora don't mess with us, so that just is what it is. But second thing is we're gonna kill this Kyle Shanahan hate, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I can understand why folks are mad at Kyle Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? I can see why y'all want to find those little fine tuned little points and jump off of that and eat that. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he messes up in the Super Bowl, blah blah blah. He messed up again in the Super Bowl again, blah 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 blah. But you know what I'm saying? We're trying to look like we're erasing everything he did beforehand. This man is masterminding a hopeful dynasty that's coming into the making, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and just get off my shit right now. Just like, look, we extended this man. We're getting ready to start making some things happen. We're doing stuff that's innovative. We're shooting that off to other players in the league. Other teams in the leagues are copycatting it. We're, you know what I'm saying? I feel like our football tree has become the tree to be. You know what I'm saying? You got Mike McDaniel out there in Miami doing his thing. Miko Ryan's doing his thing. Robert Saleh doing his thing.
Yeah.
But again, you know what I'm saying? Like you're looking at why are these offenses are playing like what they playing? It's because of Shanahan. Just being what it is. It is what it is. Like you got that force that was right there, and he's branching out for it. You know what I'm saying? Like this man is making these moves happen, and of course, these same moves got us through to the NFC Championship 2 times, 3 out of the 4 years, Super Bowl. Okay, so you know we can give
But
that
you didn't win it.
Kyle Shanahan hate, but you know what I'm saying? We also doing
I have a show for it though.
So what?
What do y'all have
But
to show for it?
you didn't win it though, but you got there.
Look, and we could still say that though. We getting there. We got there. We
Right.
got twice. You know what I'm saying? Look, point being for what that was, yeah, of course. The things that could have went our way didn't go our way. I also would throw to the fact of, you know what I'm saying, Kyle Shanahan wasn't in charge of our defense. Kyle Shanahan wasn't in charge of the defense that was with the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Moves was made. Stuff kind of fell through. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a lead, but the league kind of got broken off because, you know, you got a person named Patrick Mahomes out there acting crazy. He can score points, whatever, in those seconds in between. But
yeah, to your point on Kyle Shanahan, and sorry guys, my internet's acting crazy, so I keep cutting in and out. I'd say this. I think the proof that Kyle Shanahan is a reason for a lot of the team's success is unless once players leave, unless they go to a team that is coached, or I'm speaking on the offensive side, is either coached or the offensive coordinator is part of Shanahan's tree, they're not having any success. You know, I mean, you look at guys like Raheem Mostert. Yeah, he's having success out there in Miami. Mike McDaniels, which is part of Kyle Shanahan's tree. But then you look at other guys like quarterback C.J. Beathard. You know, when he does play, he's not doing anything. He wasn't doing a whole lot for us, but he's not doing anything in Jacksonville when he gets to play. Nick Mullins is bouncing around. Jimmy G's leading the league. He's only played 3 games. He's leading the league in interceptions, right? So, I mean, I get it. The Trey Lance situation that was a mess, and I agree. Bam and Tyrell, you may have said the same thing, and I may have missed it, but any other situation, 99% of the time, the head coach and or the GM are gone. So if we didn't have that Brock Purdy blessing, you know, and to be honest, let's say Jimmy didn't even get hurt last year. we still don't know. We wouldn't have known what we had in Brock Purdy. So when we
True.
did trade this offseason, Trey Lance, if let's assume we would have traded, in that scenario. I mean, what do you do? I mean, I definitely would think that they'd be in a hot seat. But again, it worked out. The Brock Purdy situation did. The CMC trade last year at the trade deadline worked out, and that we legit haven't lost since CMC started a game. He got traded Thursday night, flew to San Francisco, Santa Clara, San Jose is probably where he flew into, but he was with the team Friday, played on Sunday against the Chiefs. We lost that game, right? But since then, he started every single game, and we haven't lost a game. So, again, I love Brock Purdy. I don't have any issues with Brock Purdy. I think has enough physical talent to get it done. But again, his brain, how he processes is his true skill. But we can't discount the fact that CMC has changed what Kyle Shanahan can do. We had Elijah Mitchell starting, right? Great. Elijah Mitchell's fantastic, but he's hurt again.
Yeah.
And the dude carried the ball like 5 times and he's hurt again.
He plays one game and he's hurt for 8. It's crazy.
Yeah, McCaffrey is definitely you guys' X factor. From game to game. I mean, 4 touchdowns last week. I mean, come on, man. When's the last time you seen a running back score 4 touchdowns in one game? That's crazy.
Remember y'all boy, DeMarco Murray?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a little heater that he put on. That wasn't that what you guys when he did the 5 touchdowns or?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
he's definitely the go-to guy, man, and he scares me more than anybody else on your offense. So
he's legit, man. He's exceeding my expectations. I mean, obviously, I think everybody wanted CMC coming out of Stanford, when he was drafted, but for us to get him last year for a second, third, and fourth, and a lot of people thought it was too much, right? But for him to do what he's doing. Like, it's next level stuff. I mean, the dude, I think he's on track for total yards, but over 2,000 yards already.
Yeah.
He's got 7 touchdowns now. So this is crazy.
Yeah. As long as he stays healthy, he's definitely going to, be a factor.
Yeah. That's my fear because we are using him up into the 4 games now. We utilize, and again, I understand players going to play, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I have no idea what usage is, is more than what none, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand what, if there's a threshold. I am, as a fan, scared, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he had those previous times, knock on wood, that's nothing going to happen like that. But, we're using him. That's his primary back. And we thought we had Elijah Mitchell for, all right, cool. We can at least use him as like a second back. But he's injured, so we have other running backs to use. But in the end of it all, anyway, it doesn't matter which running back we have, right? We can use any running back to come into this system and just run it down people's throats. Like we made running back superstars no matter what.
Yeah, but I mean, come on now. I mean, McCaffrey's a different beast, man.
Of course. Not even like McCaffrey is where we need to be, but I'm more so not too afraid. Like, all right, we're going to go down a notch. We're going to go back to where we was beforehand, but we were still going to the NFC Championship with those type of running backs. But I'm just saying, it'll be interesting, the usage of how we're going to get McCaffrey. I feel like Shanahan's trying to give him an MVP run, so it's like he's putting him in these plays to do that.
I just hope that those accolades are great, but if we're in a position where we've secured a playoff spot by like week 16. Like I want him sitting, man. Like that. I mean, he's getting used. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's got to be 85 to 90% of the snaps he's out there. That's just way too much use, in my opinion, for a guy. I mean, that were maybe not the last year, but prior to last season, he was somewhat of an injury risk, right? Yeah. So you don't want to overuse that, especially when to your point, he's the X factor. Right.
Yeah. You're going to need him come playoff time. So I mean, you're going to have to spell him at some point or another. I mean, you can't run him into the ground. I think that was one of the things that we did wrong with Zeke, and why he burnt out so fast, man. Because I think we overused him. I really do.
What do y'all? Okay, let me ask y'all this: do y'all feel like you're going to be using CeeDee Lamb? Is he going to be a factor for you guys?
Yeah. Definitely. Because
Yeah,
like same thing you said about Ayuk. I mean, every game against the 49ers, CD, like, I mean, he opened every play. Like that playoff game, like it got missed because Dak threw the pick six and another interception, but CD had like 100 and what, 10 yards?
Yeah.
He all over the place against the 49ers. It's like nobody on the 49ers can cover him. It's nobody. Like whether it's a screen pass, a reverse, like against the 49ers, he all like we gonna find a way to get him the ball.
yeah. CD's gonna get his. The thing is what I'm concerned about is who else is going to step up because I mean, y'all going to bracket coverage CD, so that's going to leave somebody else open to finally, eat a little bit. But who is that person going to be? And I think that was the reason why we went and got Brooks. And I'm hoping that maybe he can have a coming out game on Sunday night. Well, we'll see. But I haven't really seen him being used too much because I'm like, man, we got this guy to take the top off. Going down the field, stretching the field, and we haven't even used him to do that yet. So I'm still waiting on that. I don't know what's going on with Gallup. Maybe he's still, recovering from the ACL injury. I don't know, man. He's just not looking like himself before he got hurt. So I'm like, who else does that leave? Our tight ends haven't really been stepping up either. This is the time we're kind of missing Dalton Schultz, but somebody else has to step up. And we know that they're going to, put a lot of pressure and, put a lot of eyes on Lamb because they know that he's pretty much our best receiver and our best weapon on offense, other than Pollard.
I agree with that. I feel like that Pollard is going to be, a utilization that you're going to have, but y'all don't have Zeke this time. So it's like, who y'all does that? And, and he's going to have a full game this time with us, against us, which he didn't have the last playoff game. With, again, like I was saying, I was doing some things with him until he went down,
Right.
it up. So, it'll be interesting to see how that works against us. We've been talking about it all night. Like it's funny how it works because we switched it around. Like if you would have asked this same question to us last year, we'd be like, well, the defense is going to take over and make sure everything's good to go. And then now our defense is good, but not as good as we, I don't know. I feel like the defensive coordinator being Steve Wilkes right now is still taking some time to gel. This is the fourth week. You know what I'm saying? That happened with D'Amico when he was in for the new position. It took him some time to get the personnel right, trying to see what works and what doesn't. So I feel like it's going to be the same with Steve Wilkes, but more so we're going to get better at corner.
Yeah, I'm sure Mike McCarthy's already noticed this, but when they moved Demo into the slot and have Ambry Thomas out there on the outside, you have to attack him. I don't care what receiver. It could be Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. It could be my ass out there, right? I don't care. You have to attack him because Ambry Thomas is not playing well right now for us. So just
trash.
Yeah, it's just not good. Every time he goes, and again, they do it every once in a while. It depends on who's playing the slot. I think if it's a bigger receiver that's playing slot, they have Ambry playing slot. But if it's a smaller guy, they move Demo inside, put Ambry on the outside, and just get lit up, man. Last week, the second half,
yards,
yeah, we're just getting gashed by who's that rookie wide receiver Wilson from Stanford? Like he was just gashing us, right? But the rest of the game, nothing was happening. Guess what? He was playing on the outside against Demo or Ward. So I don't know. I just either we need another corner. We need another corner. Isaiah Oliver in it. He's playing better than he was week one. Don't get me wrong, but he's not playing up to the contract that he got. I'll say that. So.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you have your thoughts on that. So.
Nah. I had hype for him. All right, cool. Let's see if we can do something come from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We got Atlanta fans out in the chat. Probably can give us some nice little fan reaction of Isaiah Oliver. So probably like some shit like glad he left type of deal, blah, blah, blah. But, I agree with you, man. Like that corner position is just still weak. And I want to say Steve Wilkes is there to fix that. Hopefully he can kind of figure out, play with the pieces enough to understand what works and what doesn't. I understand that we're playing, we're all in this year, right? We're playing to win, you know what I'm saying? Like we're playing to get what we need to do. And I feel like Steve Wilkes is going to sure it up. You're going to understand what this is, He mentioned that this is still the defense that's been playing for the Niners for the last 4 years. He's not changing up anything. He's utilizing the plays that he can and making it better. So, again, it's interesting. I say it more like this. Like, I feel like the Niners are more balanced now because back the year before, defense had to kind of overcompensate because, whatever the reason for Jimmy doing his thing, blah, blah, blah. Now more so, we're scoring 30 points a game, and the defense is doing well enough to keep them under 30 points. And that's all we need to do to keep winning the games. We don't have to be blowing out for 40 points. We don't have to be blowing out 70-point games. Keeping that 30 and above, defense do a job well enough to keep them under 30 and we win the game.
So I wrote down on my notes, right? We were talking about like keys to success. And again, you could interchange both teams, right? Because both have great defenses and great offenses. Both have quarterbacks that have some question marks, right? One little more inexperienced, right? But both right now in terms of this offense are quick passes. But one of the things that I wrote down, and this is where the Cowboys excel, Niners have to win the turnover battle, right? Again, I said it earlier. The reason why the Niners won last year in the playoffs, Dak had 2 turnovers. We didn't have those turnovers. If we can win the turnover battle, I feel pretty good about this game. But if you guys are killing it off these turnovers. You get pick 6, fumble recovery for a touchdown. I mean, if we can eliminate those, then it forces Dak to beat us, right? And I feel, you can say what you want about Dak. I mean, he could put up some numbers, but I would rather put ourselves in a position where he has to beat us versus y'all's defense just completely taking the game over. So
completely agree.
Yeah, if our defense can play the way they've been playing so far this season, albeit the Arizona game, they're going to be tough to beat, man. And especially when we don't have to ask Dak to do too much to try to, be the savior or try to throw for 300-400 yards a game and try to put the team on his back and win it that way. The defense is stout. Defense is for real, and I think everybody can agree on that. So if they're able to get turnovers and put the pressure on Brock Purdy to make him make mistakes, then it's going to be a long night for him.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I flip back and forth between how I think this game's going to go. Statistically and logic says it's going to be a low scoring game.
Right.
But part of me is like, to Tyrell's point, you guys saw Dak in the interview at the end of the game last week, right? And how he reacted. I think Dak's going to try to turn it up a notch. And if he has a good Dak game, it's going to force Brock to try to level things up a bit more. And if he's able to have success against that defense, then I could see both teams scoring 30 points, right? I mean, again, we have great defenses, but I think we also have the type of offenses that can just kind of flip that switch every once in a while. And so we'll see how it goes. But I think logic says it's going to be like a 18-15 game, something like 18-14, something like that, right? But either way, I don't care how it ends. I don't care what the score is. I just know that I want to walk away from that week 5-0 and healthy. Healthy is the more important thing, to be honest.
Right.
We got Cleveland, and we got who was it? Who's after Cleveland? I can't remember who it is. Well, Minnesota, I'm not too worried about, but we got some Cincinnati. I mean, at some point they're gonna flip the switch, right? And you guys, it's important to come out healthy because you guys got Chargers and you guys got Philly coming up. You guys got Detroit, I think, as well. So you guys don't have an easy, 4 weeks or so. So it's important.
Well, luckily, I think we have the bye coming up in the next couple of weeks, so that'll be helpful for us too as well.
Gotcha.
That is a good point you brought up, Brian. Like, like we're playing this like it's a playoff game, but we got 10, 11, 12 more games to go, right?
It's week 5. It's week 5.
We do need to come out of this, good to go as well, and ready for these other games. And same for y'all Cowboys, because y'all got some games coming up too. Y'all got some high powered games coming up, and y'all got division games with a team that we don't be mentioning, which is the Eagles, that y'all got to go ahead and take care of too.
Right.
Well, we got them week 13. I'm ready for that game. So.
I am too. I want to see that. I want to see that game finally because we didn't get it last year. But I mean, we brought out some good points tonight, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be good. Of course, I'm not going to be like asking who's going to win. I'm not going to ask y'all who's going to win. Like, y'all know what y'all going to say. Y'all want to say the Cowboys, duh. So, you know what I'm saying? I just appreciate the conversation. You know what I'm saying? We have valid points of what each team can do, and it's going to break down to who wants it the most. And you know, it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a good game, man. I can't wait to see Star Game come in to Wing Factory. You know what I'm saying? The invite is extended to you, Tyrell. You want to come, you know, a 3-hour drive. Hey man, but you know it's gonna be a fun time. I know you're gonna be talking shit in our group chat because I'm in the group chat with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only ready for it. It's gonna be interesting when that Sunday night game. It's gonna be all eyes on us. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be just a game between everybody else. It's gonna be the only game that the nation's gonna watch. So
Yeah.
I hope that both teams is gonna, you know, put on a show for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
you got kind of like a playoff feel, you know what I'm saying, to it so far. And it's early in the season. So, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, everybody is kind of amped for this game, whether you're a fan of either team or not. Because I know at my job, everybody was talking about, like, yeah, I'm going to tune in and watch that game because you're talking about, you know, two of the top three teams going head to head on Sunday night. So, yeah,
yeah.
it should be a good one.
And we don't need no Taylor Swift to come showing up, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have
No, no,
I feel
no.
like it's gonna be a high. It's gonna be a lot of people gonna watch that game because we've been pulling off a lot of views every time the playoffs games come on. We be getting a lot of the views. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's been tuning in. We be getting like the highest rating and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this Sunday night is gonna be a game that we don't need Taylor Swift to get them. You know, get like 1 million plus. You know
No, no.
what
Cowboys and 49ers will sell itself. Trust me.
I'm saying? Hands down, man. Hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I'm glad we got that talk out of the way. I want to break it down just a little bit. I don't want to keep you guys up too long either. Just want to bring up to the other point, like give me a couple a favorite memory of yours from the Cowboys. I'm gonna give a memory of mine from the Niners, but I'm gonna start with you guys. Like, what's a favorite memory of yours? Being a Cowboys fan, and I'm gonna start off with you, Tyrell. What's a favorite memory of yours from the Cowboys?
My favorite Cowboy memory. Uh,
Sorry about that, fellas.
my favorite Cowboy was when we signed Deion. Like, like that's when that's when I was like it was official then. Like, okay, yeah, like I'm definitely a Cowboy fan now because like I hated the Falcons like since I can remember, but I was like, okay, Deion, like the swag that he brought to the field, like it's like, all right. Then he went to the 49ers and I was like, okay, I can't really mess with Deion like that no more because he was the 49ers. But then the next year he was like, all right, I'm gonna come to the real team now. That's probably my best memory because I remember like I think I was in school. I was getting ready for like a school middle school uh summer practice. And like everybody was like, "Hey, you know, Deion signed with the Cowboys," and like I didn't know at that time because like it wasn't no social media, like it wasn't like he said earlier, like you didn't get the news unless you read a newspaper or something like that. And like I remember them talking about it in school and like the practice. And wait, Deion Cowboy, and I get home, I asked my dad, he was like, "Yeah, man, Deion with the Cowboys now," and like the look on his face, just like that's probably the disappointed. I seen my dad tell me something. He was like, "Deion with the Cowboys." That's my favorite Cowboy memory. Cause like I like to this day I remember the look on my dad's face when he said Deion with the Cowboys.
I ain't that because Deion just said Deion's my he's I said Steve Young is my favorite quarterback. Deion's my favorite football player because he just lights out, man. He just knows what he has he's just the full thing. And you see what he's doing now with Colorado, man. It's just he just has that energy, that vibe that he gives off like everybody's gonna be playing at top gear. You know what I'm saying? You playing on this team, you're gonna be playing at the top you're gonna be playing at the highest level. Or you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get chewed out or you're gonna be off the team because Deion's not gonna be playing with somebody that's gonna be on some scrubs. So
Yeah.
I
The
feel you.
dude has been a winner everywhere he's been, man. So it's just like he's everywhere he's go, he's always elevated that level, you know what I'm saying, to another notch. So, you know, kudos to that man, bro. I tip my hat off to him.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben? What's the favorite memory of yours from Cowboys?
You know what? I'm gonna go a little bit more recent. And it's funny because, living down here in Atlanta, dealing with these Falcon fans, man, they tend to get on your nerves a lot because they chirp so much for a fan base that have never won a damn thing ever. But they have the most, what I'm saying, they most trash to talk to everybody. And even at my job, man, I deal with a lot of Falcon fans. So I went to a Cowboys game. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was probably right after COVID had hit, as a matter of fact. So we're talking about in 2020 when the Falcons had to come to Dallas, and I went to the game, and a lot of them were talking trash to me going out there. They say, you can't come back home. You know what I'm saying? If you lose, and I'm like, really? Y'all really think y'all gonna beat us? So, and if you remember, Tyrell, we were losing bad that game in the first half, bro.
Yeah.
And I think we was down by like 20 points or something like that. But one thing we always know about the Falcons, no lead is safe with them. You know what I'm saying? Because exactly. No, that is one thing that we know about the Falcons. They will blow a lead. So I'm getting phone calls at halftime and stuff. They talking stuff. They like, see, I told you, you know what I'm saying? We were gonna win, we are gonna blow y'all out. Ha 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 ha. And I just calmly told them, I said, we got a whole second half to play, and y'all blow leads, so you might want to humble yourself right now. And lo and fucking behold, excuse my language, but yeah, I think everybody knows the outcome of that game. Uh, by the end of that game, we came out on top, and I went crazy. I was in the stands. I went live. I started calling people. I got blocked on social media. Nobody wanted to answer my phone calls. I literally haven't spoken to a couple of people that was cool with me since then because they had blocked me on social media and didn't want to talk to me after that game because they just knew the Falcons was going to win that game, man. And they were like, how did this happen? And I said, this is what y'all do. This is y'all MO. Why are you surprised? Like, you know what I'm saying? What do you think was going to happen? But that's one of my fondest memories, being in that stadium and witnessing that. And then, what I'm saying, just sticking it to those Falcon fans, man, and letting them know, like, y'all are who y'all are. 28-3. Make sure you always remember that.
Yes.
Oops. So, man, we try to make it a non-Falcon bashing show, but that's how we're gonna do it though. It's gonna that we just gonna just talk about them like that. So you know what I'm saying? That's Falcons fans for you, man. Tackle and your favorite memory, dog.
Me? So I mean, there's a couple, but I'll just mention two, like one sort of an older one and one more recent. So the older one is when Bryant Young's last game with the 49ers, and they carried him off the field on the shoulder. BY was like, he's my favorite all-time Niner. He just did everything the right way. That injury where he broke his leg and came back from that and whatnot. But seeing that happen was just incredible. Especially to like a teenage kid that's trying to learn how to do things the right way. Then more recently, and I hope I'm not stealing anything from you, but 2019, New Orleans. Like, not just the game and how it ended, that entire weekend we took over New Orleans. Like, we took New Orleans over, right? No, they said we couldn't do it, we did it. But the way that game went, the George Kittle first down, the rumble that he had, for like 40 yards, face mask, all that stuff, and then winning on that Robbie Gold. I think it was Robbie Gold, right? But field goal to win the game. It was just outrageous. I didn't go to the game, but I was in New Orleans. I was at Dave and Buster's, and yeah, there was so much trash talk going on. Like, not just with other customers, with employees too. And then they didn't want to come out of the kitchen after the game. So, there are hundreds of Niner fans in there just screaming, dancing on tables and everything. So that whole, just overall, the experience of being in New Orleans, doing what we did, and then just being with the people was incredible.
I was in that stadium that game, man. It was loud as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't hear them. I couldn't hear I couldn't hear my homeboy next to me, twin Idris. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't hear him. Like we're talking to each other, but we're right next to each other, and I'm shouting like this man is a mile away, and that's how loud it was inside that stadium, and it was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Jimmy had his best game that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool. I was a fan of Jimmy at that game. Jimmy G had his best game that game.
Yeah, yeah. That was
And
after we traded for Emmanuel Sanders too.
man,
So yeah. So and he never had like spectacular stats, but I do think that him being on the team was important. I think he knew how to help players mature. But that was Debo's rookie year,
yeah,
right? So I think he helped teach Debo how to be a professional. But on top of that, we have we hung out after the game. The Plies joke came out, and so that we'll have that joke forever. But no, it was just awesome, man. That weekend, and then again to top it off, how the game ended, just crazy.
kind of went viral. We paraded down on Bourbon Street.
Yeah,
It was a wild moment, man. That was a good memory. That's one of the good memories for sure. Definitely had. I would say for me, it was Steve Young doing 6 touchdowns, lighting that shit up. It was like what that was my first time I got to see it, just like an actual like game where he's like this man scoring touchdowns after touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Like yeah, that's my favorite left-hander right there, man. I loved it. It was like you know what I'm saying. It was just looking like poetry in motion, man. So many memories, Brian. You know what I'm saying? I would bring up the T.O. star moment, but I'm not.
I was thinking about that, but only the first time. The second time he got hit by T.
Yeah, that was
So I didn't want to bring that up because it didn't technically end well.
nah.
No, it didn't.
Nah.
But I'm gonna be honest. Like, look, I was a T.O. fan, but that was fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
like that. Like, I'm thinking like somebody comes to my house,
Yeah.
and does something to my house. Like, no. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, it all worked out because in the end of the day, I think because he always wanted to be a star. So,
He ended up there. Yeah.
He ended up there anyway. So,
yeah, he played for his favorite quarterback. He got to do what he needed to do.
Yeah.
It was what it was. But more so recently has to be when Cap came in and destroyed the Green Bay Packers. I mean, Cap was looking like the most, you know what I'm saying? Like this was like a moment like big times 12. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like he took over the team himself. Like he did all that himself, and he threw for so many yards. Like
didn't he run for like over 175 yards or something like that?
You know what I'm saying?
150 yards.
The man started, and the man was sitting down. It was cold as shit out there. You know what I'm saying? With no jacket on. I'm like, this man is unstoppable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this was the beginning of like, okay, this is about to be a real deal right here. Like, we got, you know what I'm saying? Cap is that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's go. So that was like a game that really, you know what I'm saying, took it to the next level for me, man. And we had a good year that year too, man. It was like he was ready to make it happen, man. I enjoyed having Cap on the team, man.
The Super Bowl sucked, but
it did.
Hey, y'all that Super Bowl. I'm not even gonna lie. Y'all should have won that one.
The lights went out, man. The next thing you know, poof, everything switched up after that.
And that goes to show, like, I tell people this, right? It's like you can give up 30 points and a half and be down 30-7 at halftime, but them scoring 30, and that's not what the score was in that game, and I'm just throwing out numbers. All that proves is that you could score 30 in the second half to tie it up, right? So to me, I'm like, I don't know. I get or understand feeling a bit dejected at certain points of the game, but all it takes is just one switch to flip, and all of a sudden the momentum shifts, and now you're the one rolling because we were getting killed, and that's against Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, all those guys, right? And we came back and we're 4 yards away from winning the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why we threw the damn ball every damn play.
Wish he ran that instead. I wish he would have ran instead. He had it. Cap had it. But
it felt like when Pete Carroll called the pass play for Russell Wilson at the 1 yard line. Right? It's almost like I felt like Harbaugh wanted Colin Kaepernick to kind of shine
hero, of
in
course.
the moment. It'd be the hero, right? Just like I think Pete Carroll wanted Russell Wilson to be that guy. You got Marshawn Lynch at the 1, run the damn ball. You got Fred Gore from 4 yards out. I think, was it Moran Norris who was our fullback back then? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But like, just run the damn ball. Just run it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
and it wasn't Kyle Shanahan though that was at that time either.
It was Greg Roman. It's Greg Roman, man, who went to Baltimore with John Harbaugh. Then he got let go. So
yeah, but I'm just saying, it's not always Kyle Shanahan's fault. Just trying to be the apologist now, but look, man. Yeah, this was an incredible show tonight, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I really do appreciate you guys coming out, having this conversation with us, man. Real quick, I wanted to, if you don't mind, Brian, I wanted to kind of bring up the special reason why we're going to have Star Game together at Wing Factory. Give time to vote. 11 Act real quick and kind of give off some information, and the people that wants to join, come to the Wing Factory and kind of go from there too. And
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so shout out to Bam. Coming out. What is it? It was one of these games you came out. Maybe it was preseason. I can't remember what it was. But recently you came out and talked about. Atia was there. We talked about linking up and getting together for the Cowboys game and worked out. And on top of that, came up with the idea of doing a clothing and personal hygiene drive for a Loving Act. So Bam and the Star Gang graciously were all in. I already know that they've got at least two tote buckets of donations. So they're going to bring those in on Sunday. So that's awesome. But there's a number of different things that we're collecting. I can't pull up the list right now because my internet's acting dumb. But I'm on my phone right now, so yeah, I don't know what's going on. But nonetheless, what I'll do is if you guys are okay with it, what I'll do is in the comments section of this video when you guys post it on the First Rounders Facebook page, I'll go ahead and post a copy of the flyer, which lists what sort of items. We need duffel bags, we need socks, underwear. Again, various hygiene products, whether it be toothbrushes, toothpaste, soaps, all those different types, shampoo, lotion, all those things, and just kind of go from there. I would say what we probably need the most of right now is duffel bags and clothing, and obviously duffel bags need to be able to carry your things around, right? But number two, clothing, we're starting to move into those colder months, so we want to make certain that those that are less fortunate have clothes to wear ultimately, right? I don't know how you guys feel, but every time you drive down the streets of downtown Atlanta, you see somebody and their kids, walking around, needing things, and that drives me crazy because like that kid has nothing to do with the situation that they're in, right? And maybe the parent doesn't either, right? Everybody's situation is different, but you want to help where you can. I just very briefly, I am a beneficiary of programs like this from when I was a child. So anytime I have an opportunity to give back, I definitely promote that and encourage people to do it. If you can, I understand it, but if you can, definitely take a look. Keep an eye on the First Rounders Facebook page. I'm going to go ahead and post the flyer in the comment section of this video. And yeah, if you guys are down to donate, feel free to. You can either donate goods, products. You can also, do Cash App or PayPal. Can send financial donations as well. We're not ending it after this week. We're going to keep going, probably for a couple more weeks. We were initially planning on stopping at this, this week, but it was only a couple of weeks to plan, so we don't want to cut it off yet. So we're going to probably keep it going until maybe through October or something like that. But yeah, thanks for letting me talk about that.
For sure. Yeah, you can definitely add if you want to say anything with that, Bam. We appreciate you guys of
Yeah. Once again, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it, Brian, for reaching out to me.
Of course.
In your organization. Originally, when I came and met up with you guys, I believe it was for Allison's going away party when she was heading out. So that was You know what I'm saying? Again, it was just kind of meant to be. And, I'm just glad and grateful that, we were able to partner up and do this together
Yeah.
for a good cause and using this platform and our fan clubs for a means to, doing a good deed and, serving our community. So, I'm very, happy and thankful for that. And, again, because it's bigger than football. And, we know, everybody goes through things and, we try to look out for each other because, that's what it's all about.
Yep.
And one thing about me and my fan club, we try to be a family and kind of, extend that, make that an extension of us, whenever we go somewhere, whenever we do things. So, again, I am grateful and I appreciate you guys for, allowing us to be a part of this with you all. So thank you for that.
No doubt, man. We again appreciate you as well, man. So it's gonna be fun. Can't wait to see y'all. Can't wait to see you Sunday, man.
Yes.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Drinks will be involved.
Yes, they will. Before, during, and after.
Fire.
Hey, Bam, you should bring a bottle of that the Bam juice for Ronaldo. Let him get a bottle of that, man.
Got you. Look, it'll be on deck just for you guys. I got you.
Yeah. If I'm on the Bam juice, I might, I might let loose some words here and there. Not against y'all.
Hey, man, look, that's when the Bam juice is in your system, anything can happen. I'll just put it like that.
Look, like I said, for a game like this, man, I'm gonna definitely be I can't wait to watch. You're gonna see firsthand how we do it. You saw it the last time he was there. How we're gonna be, we're gonna be making our chants. We're gonna be going off. We're gonna hopefully make sure everything's good to go. And then, I can't wait to just see how the folks is gonna turn out and have some fun. We definitely want to keep it respectful. You know what I'm saying? I understand. We can. We are fans of football. But that's why we're here to do this as well as bringing families together and doing something for a good cause. So hopefully I can keep that environment going. But it's gonna be fun when the game starts up, man. So I'm gonna be talking shit to Tyrell, but it's gonna be after the I ain't gonna be in the group chat. So you already know I'm not gonna be in the group chat when the game's on.
Oh yeah, I'm that when the Cowboys on, I'm
you locked in.
Like
you locked in.
You already know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen the meme with the football rules, like do not text me unless it's an emergency. And the emergency you have to give them a code. You already know the code, what the emergency is. If I do see the text, it's game on, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be Sunday night too. So shit.
Definitely.
Talk to me anyway. It's Sunday night. Y'all should be going to bed.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah, and shout out to my Star Gang, man. I want to give a shout out to them because we plan on coming up deep and having a good time and showing out and then turning up on y'all like we always do anytime we go somewhere. And so y'all get ready for us, man. We about to bring that big gang energy out there. And shout out to my dream team as well, my VP, TC Caldwell, and my ambassador James Miles, man. Again, I couldn't do this without you guys. So, I'm definitely looking forward to this Sunday because again, it's a big matchup. It's high stakes. And it's early in the season, man. Like I said, I just got this playoff feel right now. Like, hey, look, let's do a die time. But I'm excited. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah. Tyrell, you got any shout outs, man? We're gonna close this down.
I'm good.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. All the shout outs he needed. Tackle, man. Let's go. What we got?
Yeah, no, I mean, just again, appreciate you always, inviting me on and let me participate, especially this week. Bam just mentioned it. It feels like a playoff game, right? So the excitement is there. It's crazy. It's week 5, but it feels like this is for, an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. We know it's not that, but obviously it's an important game, early in the season. Again, shout out to first rounders just in general. Love seeing what you guys are doing. What are you guys up to? 100 and what episodes?
23 now.
123 episodes. So you guys are killing it, and you guys are doubling up now most weeks. So kudos to you guys for doing what you guys are doing. Tyrell, nice to meet you. Bam, again, thank you and the Star Gang for coming out this coming up Sunday. And again, thanks for what you guys are doing for 11 Act. But yeah, we should make this a little more regular, right? Just link up and and just partner and see what we can do to help the community.
Already.
I
Yes, sir.
was.
Definitely, man. Look, I'll keep it simple, quick, man. Shout out to the first rounders, man. First and foremost, this is a special presentation, man. We're coming at you with different types of programs, you know what I'm saying, coming weeks. You know, we have our regular programs where you can catch us live on Facebook, YouTube channels, all the good stuff. Just be on the lookout for other special presentation, man, because you got me, you got the creator B. Willingham, you got the real Reggie James, you got Corporal Rivers is out here. And we can all be, you never know, you might pop up with a solo project or, you know, a solo presentation, man, on something we love about sports. So just be on the lookout for that. Definitely some cool things to coming out. Definitely check out all of our episodes. You can go, you know, we got receipts, as we call it. The episodes, we're 122 in, you know. Definitely go to any of the platforms that you listen to your podcast in, look up First Rounders, and, you know, check out an episode from us, man, because we talking cash shit. So definitely shout out to everybody that's been participating tonight in the group chat, on the comment section from Facebook and in YouTube, man. You guys been, you know, giving us some good stuff to listen to. I've been putting it on the board, so, you know, got to see some cool stuff out there. And just shout out to everybody that's been listening, man. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, Tyrell. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you for coming on tonight, man. It's always love with you, Brian. You know what I'm saying? You're your family member now, man. You know, you can come on whenever you need to come on and talk that cash shit too, man, because, you know, you got that cash shit to do that, man. So I appreciate you as well, you know, of course. So, and that's our big thing, man. So we appreciate everybody for coming out tonight. It's a good game. Can't wait for Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang, Niner game. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys?
How about them, though?
Yeah. Y'all finna find out. Y'all finna fuck around and find out.
You know, hey, Bam, I hate that I'm not going to be there myself. I'll be out of the country at a wedding.
Yeah.
But, man, I wish I was there because I just can't. There's just, this game is just.
Yeah, it's going to be a dope experience, man. I wish you could be there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially with us being in the building, like, because our energy that we bring, like, you won't have a choice but to engage with us. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, I do anyways, right? So I mean,
yeah.
I'm that kind of person, but
gotcha.
You know, but no, it's cool, man. You guys have a good time while you're there. Make sure I've already told everybody to make sure to take care of you guys. The facility, you know, I contacted them, and they said that we're straight. You know, they'll take care of us. So
okay,
just let me know if you guys do have any problems, even though I'm out of the country. Right?
Gotcha. We'll chop it up when you get back, man.
Absolutely, man.
Look, man.
All right.
Look, it's not gonna be the only time. It feels like it might not be the only time that we can probably get up, man. You know, we're probably gonna see each other in the playoffs too. So
yeah, that's highly likely. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
You know what I'm saying? So you might get your chance, Brian. So all right, guys. I appreciate y'all as always. I appreciate everybody coming in for the special presentation. Tune in next week. We're gonna have a good show as well. Look out for our picks. Look out for everything that we're gonna be talking about subject wise. And you know what I'm saying? That's how it is for the night, man. With that, we're gonna say peace out. So I appreciate everybody from, you know.
All right.
Y'all be good.
Salute.
Peace.
Later.
Sir.